Hello YouTube, this is Shirley426, and today we have the review of the Gundam Converge EX31 Neue Ziel 2. Now, I got this figure some time ago, but at the time there was a lot of stuff, a lot of new figures, kits, like coming out, so this one kind of lost its, best timing to be reviewed. So I'm reviewing it today because a lot of stuff that I've pre-ordered are getting delayed, and I'm hoping at least one of them arrive today. So originally I was hoping the package to arrive yesterday so I could review it now, but once again, change of plans. Alright, so here we go. So some time ago I did review the Gundam Converge Neue Ziel over there, and that was a pretty good figure. Honestly, I really liked the overall looks, and it had the exaggerated look in terms of details in certain areas, but still it was what it was. So, and when Bandai announced that they were releasing the Neue Ziel 2, I was surprised because I did not expect to see this specific variant. Now, regarding the mobile armor itself, I actually heard two stories regarding this. Number one was way long ago, where this was supposed to be a mass production type of the Neue Ziel. So I was kind of like, in my mind, that was still going on with me, the way how I saw it regarding this mobile armor. I was really hyped, so got it right away. The second story was that, well, whether this is a mass production type or not, this was also used by Char Aznable in some sort of side story. So, which is why it gave me a more reason to buy it as well. So yeah, so here is the box. Let me just get the box right over here. Very nice. Now, I purchased this from a different web shop than I usually go with. So the interesting part about this web shop is that, or in terms of Korean law, is that certain toys are not, you cannot have certain like edible candy or gum inside these toys if you want to sell them officially. So which is why they contacted me and asked would it be okay to get rid of the candy. Well, I didn't have any choice because legally they have to get rid of it. So they did, and they opened the bottom of the box to remove the candy and send me like this. So the bottom section is opened, which is kind of unusual because usually a normal person will open the top, but still I'm fine by that. Just wanted to mention that. And here on the back of the box we have the front side and back side as well. Alright, so now let's get on to the review. So as you can see, let me just get rid of the moving stand and see what we got. So here obviously we get the mobile armor itself in its glory, and we get two of its claw arms. Now these claw arms are kind of interesting because you get two of them. Number one, you get two of them, and then you can I believe you are able to detach the beam saber effect parts if you want to do so. So this does technically mean you could slap in any other beam saber effect parts because the connecting port seems to be a standard one as well. The claw arms can rotate, and if you want to pull them off if you want to do so. And what I did not know until today was that I could move the arms, because the day I actually got this figure, it was extremely stiff. Everything was stiff to the point where I thought it was not supposed to move. But today, after some time, now the joints have been loosened up and they can actually move freely. So I'm actually surprised because Gundam Converge figures are usually statue type figures. They barely have any articulation on or joints. The only case I've seen it so far is number one was on the Neo Zeong. Of course, I have the narrative version of the Neo Zeong, and yeah, only the large arms on the back would move. So that's that. And then the one there's another mobile armor which has another of these claw arms that was also seen in Unicorn Gundam. I forgot the name, but still that also had some articulation on the claw arm. So that was pretty interesting. All right, so that's that. So let's start some comparisons right away, because once again these are pretty much statue figures, so they're not supposed to be purchased with like gimmicks and such. You're buying them because you like the mobile suit and the concept. So you can see there's a big huge color difference. Now I can the main reason why I was kind of convinced by this being a mass production type story of the original first version was that because it looked much more simple, a more simple look. You can definitely see there's less arms. You can see they kind of like got rid of the unnecessary parts and made it more simple. Hence, it was kind of convincing, but still I do like the overall the red color and the spikiness of what's going on here. Now once again, when I got this figure, a lot of parts were kind of curved because the way how it was packaged in, so these parts were kind of bent. So I actually had to get a hairdryer and then straighten them up. I'm almost done. I think I should do a little bit more on this side and it will be good. Of course the main body was the worst section because it was actually kind of crooked, so I had to like fix it. And I'm not sure you can actually pull this off, but it seems like the mono eye seems to be capable of moving if you do it correctly, but still it's not really moving on my. You can see it's not exactly in the center, it's more onto this side, so that's a little bit bummer on my end. Alright, so enough with the outside look. Let's see what we got. So when you first get this figure, you can expect that I believe the main body will be a single piece. The back piece right over here, this one will be a separate piece. This back section here will be a separate piece, and then the side spikiness, these parts left and right will be also detached, so you have to connect them yourself. So the head is on a single peg, so you can move left and right, and that's that. And let me just take off the head. The head can be taken off pretty easily. Now it looks like the mono I can move, but I've done all what I can do, and I can barely move it. So I kind of force pushed it, but I really hope that's just the way how it is, because so you are able to move the mono eye, but I hope nothing's broken inside. Now I would have preferred where you can actually take off the entire head and move the mono eye, but that's not the case, because usually mono eye type mobile suits or mobile arm would have that gimmick. So it is a little bit of bummer or hard to move the mono eye. You're gonna need some sort of small plier or some sort of small poking stick and move the mono eye time to time. So that's that. Now, as far as I know, the top body, this whole middle body section is a single piece. So there's no articulation or movement, or there's no detaching point. So don't try to force it. And once again, with the Char Aznavour story, here is his symbol. So it does match up the story that I've read as well. Now the stand, because the way this mobile armor is supposed to be used only in space while floating around, you cannot, there's no feet or legs, so you can't put it on the ground. So which is why they do give you this stand with a awesome looking, Zeon symbol going on here. I really wish there were more mobile armors for the Federation, and so they could have a opposite version of this, and that would be dope. I'm just gonna mention this. I did miss my chance of pre-ordering the Gundam Converge white base version. Of course, it was kind of necessary because I have a much bigger, better Converge version as well. So yeah. All right. So I would like to point out this. So the arms. Whoops. Well, okay. So number one, if you want to attach those claw arms, you have to pull these parts out. This will pop out, and then you can replace that part, because on the bottom section here, there's actually a hole there. You can slap on the arm here, and you're good to go. And don't freak out. There's actually another joint right over here. There's another joint here which allows you to move the arm up, forward, and backward like that. And since it is on the peg, you are able to rotate it. And then since we have another bending point here, you can really go all the way around. And this is a really big benefit, because you actually get not only the claw arm. Well, the claw arm, definitely you need it, but you also get a beam effect part. So a beam saber effect part, or beam, whatever. Because in order for the previous version to get that, you have to buy a premium Bandai expansion set for this set, and I believe that also comes with a extra parts for the Dendrobium as well, which I actually do have in terms of the Converge figure, not the expansion, but still, which might be my next review for in terms of Converges. So this is really cool. You can actually move forward and backward as well, and they did a pretty good job on hiding the arm, because this is practically the arm folded up as much as possible. So they really gave out that illusion very well. So big, huge points to that. So yeah, once again, you can do that. Now these parts don't rotate because the pegs they are using, let me just give you an idea of what the pegs look like. They're not round pegs, they're actually one of these hexagon-ish shaped ones, so you can lock it into place, which does, in theory, then you could like reposition the arms in a different like angle. But once again, that's gonna look awkward, because I believe for this mobile armor, it was always seen in like this, because I believe these parts are not supposed to like rotate and such. Still looking very good. And that's pretty much it. There's no other rotating parts as well. So for those who are used to Converge figures, this is actually pretty cool. This is pretty good. But for those who are new into this or trying to get into this, you may think this is not much of a big deal. But, after collecting a good amount of Gundam Converge figures, you will get the idea. And I think that's pretty much it as far as I can tell. So other than that, we have all these extra thrusters, like details going on. They do look very cool, and I think we do have some panel lining opportunities right over here. So if you want to go crazy, do go crazy. But of course, after my experience with panel lining Gundam Converge figures, not every Gundam Converge figure from this line deserves it, because sometimes they will look better, but at the same time, sometimes they will look much more messier. So just do be aware of that aspect. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the review. This was the review of the Gundam Converge EX31 Neue Ziel 2. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave them comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and maybe reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.